What up, Freedom Ninjas? It's Jeff King here, and today we're going to talk about roads and who will build them. But first, I need you to help me build this channel and hit that subscribe button! Sorry, I get a little carried away sometimes. But, who will build the roads? I can see it right now. In a world without government, a lonely man with his 3 children are standing naked in their driveway, desperately looking at the target in the distance and the promise of the clothing department. But without government roads, they can't get to the target and will forever remain naked. Wait a second. How did the target get built in the first place if there wasn't roads to transport the materials to build the target? Who will build the road? I've gone over the moral foundations of libertarianism in past videos, but I feel like it's worth going over once more. If I'm going to address the common objection of roads, I should in turn address the common moral foundation of the libertarian social philosophy. The foundation of libertarianism is to remove the use of coercion and force from society. Using coercion and force to manipulate others into doing something they don't want to do is an evil which should be eliminated. It falls upon us who are honest enough with ourselves to call out evil when we see it. Libertarians, as moral actors concerned with the evolution of the human race, should speak out against and work to eliminate all forms of evil when we can. If we want to maintain and further evolve our civilized society, we need to start by eliminating all forms of coercion. It's a moral imperative that we do so. Libertarians want to remove coercion from society and allow human beings to flourish free from gun-pointing politicians. Roads should be privatized because right now they are being financed by immoral plunder. Plunder is the root of government's existence. Individuals in government steal our income by using coercion and gun violence enforced by political mercenaries called the IRS. So how will roads be built without government? The first answer I'm going to give is perhaps the most simple, unsatisfying, and maybe the most enlightened. The truth is, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know anything about building roads, and I'm assuming you don't either. That's not my expertise. Just like I don't know anything about making airplanes, phones, cars, toilets, television, or the many other thousands of products we use on a daily basis. What do you actually know how to build that you use? I don't know how to build any of these things, and I don't need to. That's the beauty of the market system. In a market system, everyone has 2 things in common. Every person is a consumer with needs, and every person must, in order to make money, fulfill the needs of others. That's how the market works. So I don't need to know how to make an airplane because someone else will learn how to build an airplane in order to sell me air travel when I need it. Same principles apply when it comes to building roads. I can't say for sure I know how the roads will be built in a state of freedom, but I can speculate using logic and reasoning. So how can roads be built in the city or in a residential scenario? In order to understand how an industry in a free world will work, you need to learn to put yourself in the shoes of the man and the woman running a business in the industry. Simply think, who are the interested parties and what are they there for? In the case of roads, the road builder wants to make money by building roads. In the case of the customer, they want roads at the cheapest price while factoring other aspects like safety and efficiency and the longevity of the road. Now, going back to the naked family looking at the target in the distance, we can clearly see that a commercial developer would never build a Target or a Walmart or a Costco or much of anything if there wasn't a road to get there. And since we can safely assume that the owners of Target and Walmart and other interested businesses want to stay profitable, they will do their part in helping to finance roads, which lead customers to their operation. The industries which rely on roads to transport their customers are huge and never-ending. Just think about your local shopping center that has a Chili's and a McDonald's and a Home Depot and a Panda Express. They all have an interest in making sure their customers have a way to travel to their place of business, so they will do their part to help finance roads. And it's not just retail industries that need roads to fulfill their customers' needs. Where do you work? Do you think your employer has an interest in making sure you have the ability to get to work? I think they do. The fact is, there are hundreds of millions of people that need the ability to travel from one place to another. And just as the market fulfills your need for air travel, it will fulfill your need for road travel. In cities, there are countless interested parties which will come together to finance the building of roads. And let's be honest with ourselves. Compared to building a Boeing 787, which has 3 million parts and from 900 different suppliers, laying down some concrete will not be that difficult. The same principles will hold true for residential projects. A residential developer will contract with a road construction company to make sure the potential home buyers have access to their homes. The road developer will be paid by the home manufacturer, and the cost of the road will be reflected in the price of the home. No longer will distant taxpayers be forced to subsidize roads for new residential projects. Freedom will mean the people using the roads pay for them. That's a novel concept, I know. Now we can safely assume the purchasers of the homes will want to make sure that the roads within their community and the roads leading to their community are kept in good shape so they can easily travel to and from their home. So prior to buying the new home, they will want to see a contract between the road builder and the new home buyer, which states that the road builder will maintain a certain level of quality of the road, a quality which will be inspected and regulated by a third party. I'd also assume that there would be a limit on the amount that the road builder can increase the monthly or yearly charges to the homeowners for maintaining the road. Of course, in a world without fiat currencies, why would there be a need for prices to increase in the first place? But that's a whole separate conversation. Again, what do the interested parties need? The homeowners want roads going to their homes. The homeowners want roads inside their neighborhood. They want the roads maintained, and they don't want the prices going up at unsustainable rates. And we can assume they want all of this written down in contractual form. Now, what does the road builder want? He wants to make money by building roads. Do you think he has a customer? Of course he does. And voila, we have a road. People like you and me are willing to pay for a road under reasonable conditions, and there will of course emerge someone who would be more than willing to build the road under reasonable conditions. Now, of course, there are also going to be HOAs that use the monthly fees to build and maintain their own roads. Now, what about roads which aren't in the city and not part of a residential network? Roads which are similar to the freeways that we know today, so who's going to build those freeways? Now, there are many ways which these roads can be financed. One way is by billboards, just like we have today. Now, since the roads are privately owned, the billboards will be owned by the road builder, and the revenue would go towards maintaining and building the roads. That's one option. Now, people will scream and holler, that means there's going to be billboards everywhere. Really? Do you want to see billboards everywhere? Are you a customer? Do businesses try to compete for your customer satisfaction? I think they do. And if you don't want to see billboards everywhere, then we can assume the road builder will keep them at a reasonable frequency. Another option will be you use an app on your phone that charges you by the mile that you drive on the road. This would be a very simple and effective way to pay for the road. Another option is you pay a toll to get on the freeway. Now, some road builders may charge you a flat fee of $5, for example, to get on and use the freeway. You get charged to get on the freeway, and it's free to get off. Simple enough. Some freeway companies may offer a monthly pass. You pay once, get a card, and you can travel as much on their freeways as you want. Now, freeway companies may team up and work together and offer a regional monthly or yearly pass to make your driving that much more likely and secure their revenue projections. You will get freeways which raise prices during rush hour times in order to reduce traffic on the freeway and charge those who use the roads more. Again, a novel concept of paying for what you use. Because roads have been communized, we have a shortage of roads and no free market mechanism to alleviate the wasted time we all spend in traffic. Our shortage of roads, which is evident by the wasted hours upon hours we are forced to sit in during rush hour traffic, is a result of the communist-like governmental policies. One of the major reasons communism fails is because prices are not allowed to fluctuate and meet customer supply and demand, resulting in shortages and the typical 4-hour-long breadline, which history has no shortage of examples. We are forced to waste our precious time we have on this earth stuck in traffic because politicians own the roads and they are not driven by customer service. In a market system, revenues tend to go towards increasing production. Upset customers stuck in commute traffic would be a clear signal to the road producers that it's time to increase his production of roads in order to keep his customers happy and increase revenue. Politicians are literally stealing the most precious resource we all have by forcing us into their poorly designed communistic roads. They are stealing our lifeblood, time. They steal our time, and in return, we get monopolized roads which aren't even designed to keep us safe. To me, one of the most important reasons to get government out of the road building business is for safety reasons. What if 30,000 people died every year from domestic air travel accidents? Would you say that the airline companies are doing a good job? Would you trust them with your transportation needs? Or would you demand as a customer that they improve their ability to keep you safe before you trust their product? I think you would. In fact, I can't think of a single free market product that leads to an accidental 30,000 deaths every year. But I could think of a governmental product which you are forced to pay for. If you choose not to pay for this poorly designed accidental death machine, then government goons with guns will show up at your house to steal your money and throw you in a cage. When in their cage, they will refuse to protect you from rape and assault. Now, if you choose to refuse their theft and kidnapping because you didn't want to pay for something that leads to 30,000 deaths every single year, government public servants may use their guns and kill you in order to maintain their monopoly over their product, which accidentally kills 30,000 people every single year. What is that product? Roads. Government roads. Every year, over 30,000 people die on government roads. Where's the outrage? Society would lose its collective mind if every year 30,000 people were dying from airplane crashes, cell phone explosions, roller coaster accidents, or Taco Bell farts. Yet we stay silent when government roads do the exact same thing. In a truly free market, road corporations would compete for your business in a variety of ways, but one of the most important would be with their safety record. Every single parent out there is worried about the safety of their child when they drive. If they are forced to use roads which do not cater to the hundreds of millions of parents who are trying to live their life and travel as efficiently and safely as possible. Now, it's hard to say exactly what road corporations will do to maximize safety, but here are a few ideas. 2-lane highways may have a center divider. That would all but eliminate the most dangerous of crashes, head-on collisions. Governments do nothing to eliminate head-on collisions. Free markets may evolve a more elaborate red, yellow, green light system that gives drivers a buffer between light changes and a warning that cross traffic is not slowing down and someone is about to blow a red light. Traffic lights may slowly be phased out and replaced with safer roundabout intersections. There may be dedicated super fast lanes on long stretches of freeway so that a person who wants to go 95 miles an hour can do so safely from the minivan mom who wants to cruise at 65 miles an hour. How many times have you been driving down a government road and the roads are so neglected that the painted lines have disappeared and you can't even see what lane you are in? This would never happen with privately owned roads. Would you choose to drive on a road that the owner has neglected his customers to the point of not even painting the lanes? Politicians care so little about your safety that they don't even make sure that the lanes are painted. But hey, I'm the crazy one because I don't want politicians dictating my life. All of these safety options and options I haven't even thought of aren't available to you as the customer because politicians have asserted themselves as the sole provider of roads. They have deemed a monopoly on roads. Their roads murder 30,000 people every single year. Politicians do not care about customer service or you because you aren't their customer. You are simply a paycheck that men with guns will plunder at the politician's discretion. I'm passionate about privatizing roads and eliminating government from society because people's lives are literally on the line when free human beings are not allowed to meet the needs of other human beings. I know it can be hard to think beyond what you've seen your whole life and what essentially is life. Life is made up of many products, services, people, and experiences. And one of those experiences is that government builds roads. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the need to travel and the desire to travel safely. Now, what's so wrong with allowing another human being who isn't pointing a gun at your head to fulfill your need for road travel? After all, if you don't like their road, you can use their competitor's road. Why is it we are so quick to not trust our fellow man who desires to earn our income by meeting our needs? Yet we blindly trust politicians to meet our needs. And how do they do it? They do it by using a gun to steal our money. Let's evolve our culture and rid ourselves of government roads and political coercion. Freedom isn't dangerous. Government roads are. And that's the thing with King.